You need Star Wars helmets because we can get them for nothing.
Nice.
Y'all are live.
Hey!
Hey everybody!
What's up, Internet?
We're back. Welcome, Internets. We have Star Wars Legion, game 2 of our Tuesday doubleheader.
Rebel scum.
We got it. Star Wars Legion. We got Abe.
Yeah.
We got Jen.
She
Hey.
killed Matt because she wanted to play
We got-
so much.
Hack and Slash behind the camera.
Hey, folks.
Hey!
We got Larry. I'm just sitting here.
Yeah, while standing there. We're sitting
Standing here.
Yeah.
I'll be sitting soon. Star Wars Legion, brand new game from FFG. We played it yesterday. We're playing it again today. Super excited about this. This is the big new tabletop war game hitting the industry. Wave 1, we have 2 full armies, fully painted. We got boards, we got terrain, we got all kinds of stuff. Abe, you're doing Rebels today?
No. Clearly not.
Fine. Don't be sassy. Don't be sassy.
We're not
I mean, the
capable
internet-
of not being
the-
I'm
sassy.
doing the Alliance to Restore the Republic.
Okay.
Republic is overrated. Empire.
AKA Rebels.
AKA Rebels.
So, what do you call him?
Rebel scum.
Exactly.
Because he's awful.
Exactly.
Oh.
He's not even wearing pink on Wednesday. He can't sit with us.
Is it Wednesday?
Alrighty, so we
It's not
have our
Wednesday, yeah.
we
I'm
have
just saying you're
already
not gonna wear pink on Wednesday.
How do you know?
we have already picked out our 3 mission parameters. You'll see them there on the Legion scoreboard. Do you see what I have to put up with? Do you see what I have to put up with? We have
Blame Matt.
we have deployment battle lines. So we have
So we will be deploying within a
um,
6-inch range of our home.
Or range band
Board.
of 1.
exactly. Legion is played unlike some other tabletop war games out there for you guys. Legion is played on a 3x6, which means
Yes.
on this table, which is 4x6, the outer 6-inch bands do not exist. So they're just going to be using those for keeping all their cards and all their stuff. So the table actually starts basically 6 inches in. Their deployment zones are 6 inches beyond that, all the way across. And then our mission objective is key positions. Set up 3 tokens. They're already on the board. At the end of the game, for the player who has the most unit leaders in base contact with the token gets a victory point. So you got to have it has to be squad leaders, not your normal guys, and they have to be on it. So they have to be touching it. And then our environmental effect is limited visibility. During the first round, each unit's line of sight beyond range 2 is blocked. So
can't see
everything
it.
has a max range of a line of sight of 2.
Which means Jen cannot fire her missile launchers on turn 1.
And then during the second round, each unit's line of sight beyond range 3 is blocked. And then for all subsequent turns, it's normal. So that's pretty cool. That's a neat way of doing
Yeah.
that
It's
effect.
awful because I can't use any of my shooty stuff.
I mean, at the very start.
I mean,
At the first 2 whole turns.
You
We
could
only
just-
played 3 turns yesterday.
Well, you're going to play like 8 times as fast today.
I
So you'll be
hope
able to
so.
do like 24 turns.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
smoke you.
Ready. All right, so we're about to begin. Everyone, come on over. If you're on Facebook Live, if you're on Facebook, come on over. We're at twitch.tv/BellLostSouls. We want you in the chat. We have the room. We have the rules. We have the game. We have the armies. Come and hang out with us. Just once again, that's twitch.tv.
This is the stream you are looking for.
/ Bell Lost Souls. This is the stream you're looking for. And if you were on Bowls, go ahead and click the little purple Twitch button that's down there. It's on the bottom right. That pops you straight into chat. We're going to be here, hanging out, playing the game, having a good time with you guys. Ask questions, watch it, have a great time. We're going to be chilling for the next 3 hours playing Legion.
Yeah.
You guys ready? Let's have some fun. I command thee. Have fun.
There's no fun. Star Wars.
Fun is awful. I'd rather
Worst.
be emo and listen to maudlin music and wear all black and dark eyeliner.
Okay, Kyle.
Wait, so,
wait, I'm already doing that.
we're done.
Hey, I'm in.
So what else are you going to do?
Straight tea.
Oh.
That sounds great.
Alright, Jen, you place the first unit.
See, come over to the Empire. We have tea.
Jen, place the first unit.
And it's anything. It don't matter what.
Yeah, any one unit.
I'm really waiting for that scene where like Vader's in his super hyperbaric chamber and all the steam is there.
Yeah.
And the thing comes down, whoosh, and it like grabs his helmet and lifts it off, and then like the big English high tea comes down.
Larry, you're messing with my deployment.
Chat likes your mug, Jen.
Thanks. This is an official Rubik's Cube mug.
How fast can you solve an actual Rubik's Cube?
I cannot. My brain does not put together.
So
logical
this cup is
puzzles.
ironic, is what you're saying.
Your face is ironic.
It's iconic.
Wow.
Oof.
Ironic and iconic.
Oof.
That hurts. It hurts me deep down
Oh,
inside where I'm
does it
soft.
though?
Like a
Oh, I'm
marshmallow.
sorry. Are you squishy?
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. The Empire likes to eat squishy things.
Someone's just mean today. Like it.
I'm still sassy from that comment you made yesterday.
I don't even remember it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey.
All right, so we got Stormtrooper Squad number 1. They're deploying. You see them right there, kind of a little bit towards Jen's left flank.
Boom. Did it.
Up on a hill next to some crates.
Do you have the same stuff you had yesterday?
Mostly.
To the rebels.
I have one or two minor differences.
What do you have? Collective Alliance to restore the Republic?
That's just the last to restore.
Sure.
We don't need to have the collective.
It's like a confederacy.
Well, now you're
Isn't it like a
insulting us.
confederacy?
No, we're not the Confederacy of Independent Systems.
Okay.
We want.
Anyway.
What am I gonna deploy?
I was thinking about it. The airspeeder.
Not yet.
No. Okay.
I'm gonna deploy. Warhammer.
So while Abe is deploying, you measure things, so you all know. In this game, in Legion, there is this little, you get a 4-part
Four.
little stick here. I have 3 of them. Abe has one directly in front of him. These things are all modular, and you can stick them
Well,
like
not
that.
all of them are modular now.
This
one
one
of them's
goes-
not modular because I
This one
broke
goes
it.
right here, and you can, the one that you get in the box, you can put all 4 of them together to make a big master stick like this.
The Master Stick.
And everything in the game, so this is range 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything,
Back
all
to you, Jen.
weapons in the
studio.
game have ranges listed of 1 through 4. So you just measure it out on the stick. Although we have measured this morning, each of these segments is exactly 6 inches long. So you can use a ruler too if you want to. I say that because you'll notice this stick is only 3 segments long because yesterday, on camera, Jen, using her force powers,
Ugh.
Quick question
she
before we
force
start.
snapped it.
What you
Yeah.
got?
Is there pre-measuring in this game?
So,
So we're gonna let Abe talk about that just really quick before he does. There has been talk from other people on the internet and other videos that you cannot pre-measure. That's not necessarily correct.
I will read you the exact section from the rulebook here.
So doth quote the Abe.
Well, the
Players can measure with the range ruler, which is this measure
Which is
here,
this.
at any time.
Boom.
The movement tool, which are these, can only be placed against a unit's leader and adjusted freely. So you can hold them above things however you want, but they can only be placed against the leader and adjusted during that unit's activation.
Okay.
So you can kind of fake measure, just like in some other games, all you want, but you can only place it against their actual base
When you're about to
when
move
you're
it.
actually going to
when you're
move
going
them.
to, well, during their activation, not necessarily if they're moving. You can do it just to see how far they can move during their activation.
Sure.
Okay.
So you
okay.
can pre-measure whatever you want during that unit's activation, and you
And
can
you can
pre-measure
use-
with this.
Not exactly chess rules.
And you can
Anytime.
use this anytime you want to. So to me, that feels like you can pre-measure.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna miss.
I mean, the rule, the thing says pre-measuring, and then it says you can freely measure.
Right.
That sounds like they're saying you
and
can
for
pre-measure.
frame of reference, each of these we measured out is 6 inches.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Which I need.
And since we're talking measurements, what is the base movement for troops?
One of the little movement tiles, which is probably about 2.5, 3 inches. The
this
base, the tiny one.
Well, it depends.
So there are 3 different movement templates. You're going to see them here. Most infantry in the game use this one. Use the middle one.
Yep.
Which, let me go ahead and get a ruler here for you guys to see. So I would consider that is 5 inches exactly. 5 inches.
So, like in my army, Darth Vader is slow and imposing. You know, he's got that swishy walk with the cloak. He can't be rushing. He's got to have ambiance when he walks.
Right, so Vader
So he
uses
only has
the
a
little,
movement of 1.
Yeah, he uses the little
The
one.
smallest one. But most of my all of my stormtroopers and my big guy, my ATST, have a movement of the middle one, the 2.
And there
But
are
then,
some,
like, my speeder bikes have a movement of the
Right.
3.
Yeah. So
And those are denoted on your individual
Cards.
character card.
And units get 2 actions, so they can move twice if they want.
Yes.
Some of the units can move more because the speeders are really fast.
Right. So in general, if
Are
kind
all
of
of those on the board?
No, just these 2.
Okay, I was like, wait, because I've only gone twice. What happened?
Yeah.
I
So
looked away.
if a unit is, say, running and not going to be firing, if it's going to be moving twice for both of its actions, a normal default, like, standard unit in the game would have a movement of
11 inches.
11,
Yeah.
because this is 5. But remember that you move from end to end. So when you use it twice, you basically count the extra inch from your base.
Yeah.
So about 11 inches if you're moving full out. And if you're moving normal, it's 6 inches because you're moving the 5 plus the extra inch of your base.
Yeah. So
Because in Star Wars Legion, you are moving
front to back.
front to back, by definition.
So I mean, it's about the same as other war games.
It is very similar to other war games. And you can pre-measure. If anyone says you can't, they didn't read the rules. And if you guys have any other questions, please put them in chat. They'll get them to us. That's what we're here for.
Skywalker.
All right, Luke.
You have to say it like that because he's kind of whiny.
He's
so
very whiny. There's no
gotta-
kinda about it. He's the ultimate emo.
So that
kid.
squad's down to you.
He is
Thank you,
arguably.
for that follow.
Hey, thank
Come
you.
on in, welcome.
He's arguably the first emo kid because Star Wars is set in a galaxy long, long ago and very far away. So
But
you
they
can
don't
argue-
tell you how long ago.
He's
Just
the
long,
very
long
first
ago.
emo kid. Well, the second emo kid.
Like if you ask like someone who's 5, like what's a really long time ago, they'll say like last week. Because that's a
true.
really long time to someone who's little.
Isn't Anakin a little more emo than him?
Yeah, I thought about that. I was
Don't
like,
even get me started about it.
So I would say Luke is more entitled.
Sure.
Anakin is more just straight emo. Luke's all, but all my friends are going off to join the war. Why can't I? Why do I have to stay home and work to support my family?
my
just want to
friends-
join the Empire and kill rebels.
and get blown up.
I just want to go waste my
That's true,
time
he
and
wants-
money
That's what he
on
wants to
speed
do.
my
I know he
cards.
wants to join the academy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to you.
I want to see the alternate
To
fan
you.
fiction in which he joins
Oh,
up.
there it is,
and,
folks. There's the
my
eight-
favorite model of the game.
There's the ATST.
He's so good. I love him.
And
He's
and-
ginormous. Like
Yeah,
this
show him
guy is
sideways.
not petite.
yeah, it's
Okay,
huge.
for comparison, here's Darth Vader, and here's this guy. Like, he's freaking huge. He's a huge freaking
And Darth Vader's
guy.
not really a small model either. Like,
For comparison, just so you guys know.
Yeah,
yes.
Darth Vader's pretty beefy.
Just so you guys
boy.
know. All right, hold that thing sideways again. Here's a side-by-side comparison of 2 models.
Damn.
That ATST is really huge.
He's
really,
even taller than Mortarion if you're a 40k fan.
Really huge. It's
He's incredibly light. Like every time I pick him up, I'm afraid I'm gonna break one of his spindly little chicken legs.
But they're actually pretty.
but they're pretty solid. It's beefy. All right, so the ATST's on the board.
What is the ATST armed with today?
Everything.
Oh,
All right, so the ATST comes equipped with the fence-cutting blades. He's got them big stompy feats for melee combat. And then he also comes equipped with the MS4 twin blaster cannon,
That's the
which
big
is
one.
a fixed front shot, meaning you have to shoot from this front radius here. And he has an impact of 3, so he can convert up to 3 hits into crits, which is great for piercing armor.
Okay.
He also has the add-ons of General Weiss, which allows him to have an additional Arsenal 2. So that gives me
That means you can-
the ability to fire all 4 of my weapons every time I activate him, as long as they're within range.
Ugh. And then he has 3
and then I
bump.
have the DW3 concussion grenade launcher, which is also fixed front and allows me to ignore cover when shooting people. So that's real tasty. That's got a range of 1 to 2. And then I've got the 88 twin light blaster cannon, which I used yesterday in that battle. It has a range of 1 to 3. It's got impact 1, so it changes 1 hit into a crit, and also has the fixed front. And then lastly, I've got a new guy. This is the ATST Mortar Launcher. This has a range of 4 to...
Unlimited.
Yeah, it goes as far as it wants to go. It's also fixed front, and it has suppressive. So after I perform an attack, the defender that this weapon was used against gains 1 suppression token. So I make it harder for these guys to want to hit me on their turn because they're so afraid of it.
Yeah. So, yeah, it has 4 weapons on it, which is really
nasty.
impressive.
But interesting to note, this guy's going to be really limited at the beginning of this game because of the... Which one was it? It's the...
Limited visibility.
Right, but what is that? Is it the terrain modifier?
It's
or
the condition modifier.
The condition modifier that says that you can't shoot on turn 1 anything more than range 2, and on turn... anything more than range 3, and on turn 2 you can't shoot anything more than range 2. Sucks.
Scratch that. Reverse
it? Yeah. That's right.
And then starting on turn 3, everything's cool.
Turn 3,
so
it's on like Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Bam!
Yeah. So you guys are basically fighting like...
In a dust storm.
It's real dusty. It's tactical.
Oh yeah, a vicious storm has swirled up a cloud of debris.
It's so dusty. It
Forming
gets in
a
all the
brief
cracks, and I'm just
hiatus.
not about it.
Alright, so we are set up and we're ready to go.
Yes.
And since we're kind of in deployment, got a question about how squads are put together.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, is there a limitation on how many heavy weapon troopers can be in each squad?
Yeah, so each card, each unit is going to have on the side, just like if you've played other Fantasy Flight games over here, it's going to have what upgrades the squad can have. Mm-hmm. So in the case of both of our squads, they can have an additional trooper. So they come with 4. They come with 4 troops in them originally. You can have an additional trooper, which all of our squads do have, which makes them have 5 basic troopers, and they can have 1 heavy weapon trooper in them. So all of our squads do have a heavy weapon trooper. It's not all the same in all of our squads. Yeah. And then they have like an equipment and a grenade slot. So, so far at least, as we've seen in the game, all the squads can have 1 heavy weapon in them. Yeah. They come with 2 different options. You get 2 different models, but you can only use 1 of them.
Right.
It's quite possible that later.
Yep, that we're going to absolutely. Yeah, I have no doubt that like when we start getting like commandos and death troopers and like super elite units, we're going to start seeing squads that can take multiple special heavy weapons.
Definitely.
And I did see earlier, I was checking out some of the Facebook forums for Star Wars Legion. There were some people asking because they didn't see any pictures of the speeder bike stormtroopers facing backwards. We've got one guy here that's facing forward in the normal posture, and then we've got one guy here that's actually shooting.
He's shooting
backwards over his shoulder.
Because he's cool.
And he's the squad leader.
That's the squad leader.
Oh, okay. Cool. Good to know.
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
Okay, so we are deployed.
We are deployed.
And they come with these really handy tokens here that allow you to denote if you've got several of the same kind of unit. So I have 3 units of stormtroopers. It allows you to attach one of these to your leader of it, so that you can know which unit is which on the battlefield, which is really handy.
So Jen's got 2 squads with the heavy blaster rifle, the blaster rifle.
That is the, where's my guy? The DLT-19 Stormtrooper.
That's this guy.
Yeah.
And there's another
one
over there.
There's one over here, and then this one here is my favorite. It's the HH-12 Stormtrooper. That guy is awesome. Now he's cumbersome. He can't move and fire in the same turn. But he has impact 3, so he gets to transfer 3 of his attack hits into crits. Real good for shooting them biggins.
And right now, his fact that he can't move and shoot is irrelevant because he literally cannot shoot on the first turn.
Right, so I'm not impeded by that, so I can just move where I
want to. His minimum range is 2, and his max he can't see beyond 2.
Okay, so you guys are going to choose your orders now?
We are. So the first thing we do is every turn.
Orders for you.
Orders. I'm denoting which units are which.
And we're going to pick one of these to give as our command for this turn.
Yep.
And I've got 2 squads that have the MPL-57 Ion grenade launcher in it, and then one that has the Z6, which is the kind of rotary Gatling.
Are there more rules for terrain besides the cover bonuses?
There, yes and no. So there are going to be official rules for all kinds of terrain. They are coming out in the rules reference, which Fantasy Flight has said will be releasing on Friday. So right now, the core book has very few terrain rules, just basically cover, and then it says, hey, make stuff up, basically. Agree with your opponent and make stuff up.
Right, and then it also says there is a full set of rules for like how to set up terrain in like competitive events.
It says that, and then it also says, there's one that says how to set up terrain in competitive events, and then there's also one that says, where is it? The rules for playing with custom terrain can be found in the online rules reference.
Right.
Which is not out yet.
Which is not out yet, so no one knows. We're all going to find out together on Friday.
Mm-hmm. And that will have the rules for moving up and down, heights, and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And
we definitely know that we've seen hints of some of them, because like some of the units, as an example, there's like speeders that say like this unit can ignore height 1 terrain, or this unit can ignore height 2 terrain, and we're like, okay, so we know there's height 1 and 2 terrain. What does that mean?
And the ATRTs have the expert clamber rule, which says when clambering, do not roll defense dice or suffer wounds.
All right. So we know that there's all the core basic rules to get up and running and play the game. They're in the box, and there's the big giant fancy PDF with all the super detailed rules. And like I said, those come out on Friday. We're all waiting.
Now remember, you can only issue orders to people within range 3 of your commander, Lord Vader himself.
Lord Vader. Oh. And that's 3 of the actual big thing. Yeah. Alright, so...
Oh, and the big thing can't be your general. We were wrong yesterday.
Oh, it says that?
Only troopers can be your commander.
Noted.
And if you have no troopers left, you get no commander, and you cannot issue orders. Like, you can't use command cards. You just have to randomly draw.
Cool, good to know.
So you can decapitate the enemy's leadership and leave them just a bunch of random guys and speeders flying around very confused. What do you got, Jen?
That's what the Ewoks did.
I have standing orders.
Oh! I have standing orders!
Oh!
Dun, dun,
it's like we know how to play this game.
It's like, okay,
so
well,
we roll off to see who will take the first activation, yes?
Well, I roll to see who gets the first activation.
Right, because it's...
I get the first activation.
Get it, girl, get it.
Do I get it, or do I choose who gets it?
That's a good question. I think it said that you take
I'm going to guess that in something as precise as an FFG game, probably it tells you specifically, like player 1 gets it or player 2 gets it.
Probably.
I will give you those 2.
Yes. I have priority.
All right. So the rebels get to because their orders were. They both chose orders that had the same kind of initiative step. It was a tie, so we rolled off this die to see who actually was going to get to start the turn, and Abe won that roll off. The rules indicated that if you rolled a white pip, it was one player or the other. So it is to Abe first. Right. So what are you going to do?
Well, I picked him to give an order to. Jen, who are you giving your order to?
Oh, that's right. So we're going to do my ETSD.
Just one.
Well, it's for...
Standing orders is just one, right?
Oh, it's just one unit.
Yeah.
Because I read it wrong.
Sucks.
Yeah, my
Who's
ATSD.
The one? All right, the ATSD.
And everybody... So all of these other tokens get flipped upside down, and we will pick randomly from them on our turn to determine which unit will be activated.
Yep. Yeah. And that is one of the features of Star Wars Legion, is that it's this concept that you see in lots of war games. It's kind of representing Fog of War, which is that you don't have direct, like, absolute 100% control over all your forces. There's a certain bit of uncertainty. So you're kind of in the role of the general you're issuing orders and doing stuff, but you don't necessarily, it is an uncertain situation. So you get to issue an order via an order card, which lets you kind of manually, out of sequence, say, this unit and this unit are very important to me this turn, and I'm going to make sure that I get to do what I want to with those right off the bat. But then everything else that you're not paying attention to, you're going to be activating them. They will all activate this turn, but they're going to be activating in random order, because you're going to be drawing them out of an order pool right there.
And I'm also, just for people's reference, I have a card that is only able to be used on the very first activation round, and I did not choose to use that, so I'm going to put it away, but I'm going to tell you about it first. It's called Implacable for Darth Vader. At the end of Darth Vader's first activation, he may suffer 1 wound to shuffle his order token back into the order pool, so he can take another turn.
Which is cool.
During his second activation, he performs 1 fewer action. So normally you get 2 actions on a turn. This card would allow me to take essentially a 3rd action later during that turn. So that guy's going to go away, because I didn't choose to use it because I want Vader to have all the wounds he can have so you don't kill him again. Killed him last game.
So
awful.
I've chosen to randomly activate a unit. I picked one of my... I flipped this over so it's a core, so I can activate one of my 3 core units. I'm going to pick this unit here. I'm going to move them. Moving is very easy. I take the maneuver template, which is that range 2. I place it next to my squad leader, which is this guy. I can place it anywhere next to him. And then I simply move him along the template. I can stop him at any point I wish.
Right, you don't have to move the full distance.
Yep, I'm going to move him up here. And then once he's moved, I take the rest of the squad and I place them within coherency, which is this shortest template.
You don't have to use this on turn 1. You can use this whenever.
Yeah, it's his first activation.
That's the first activation of that turn. That means that the turn that you give him that order, he's going to get 2 activations.
I read that to mean the first of the game.
No, that's the first of the turn, so you can use that whenever.
I completely and totally misread that card then.
There you go, sir. Take it. Abe's doing some. He's doing some of that pre-measuring that he's allowed to do.
I'm allowed to do. They're going to dodge.
Okay, so they moved for their first action, that squad of rebels, and for their second action, they're going to choose the dodge action, which makes them a little, it's a defensive action that's going to make them a little harder to hit.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of melee attack do they have?
They can punch you with their fist.
What kind of die does that do?
A black dice, because they punch just as hard as their lasers, apparently.
Some weak lasers. Or they are incredibly
I mean, that's on par with mine.
Fists.
I have one black die per dude as well.
Really good fists. Alright, and then I flip
They've got those, like,
over.
nails and, like, rocks in their punching gloves.
Right. And then after the unit,
hardcore.
And then after the unit activates, you flip its token over to indicate that it has moved. So you're going to end up with you have a big pool of these things of your in your unit activation pool that you don't know what they are, and you're going to be drawing them randomly. And then you're going to you'll grab one, flip it over, put it on the right type of unit, do its movement, and then when it's done, flip it back over. So it's it's actually easy to keep track of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And to the Empire,
Jennifer.
Your Dark Lord lady.
I'm activating my troopsies.
All right.
Which troopsies?
These troopsies.
Ah, these troopsies. They are real troopers.
Mark, let's go ahead and zoom out. Go to whole board because everyone's moving stuff.
Right.
There we go.
Stormtroopers.
All right. That is Jen's squad of stormtroopers moving out. They're just moving up behind.
And I've learned from the errors of last game, and I'm not putting my super shiny dude at the front of my group of people. Interesting thing to note about cover in this game, when your leader specifically is flush with a barricade, you get cover from other people, but people don't get cover from shooting you. Right. So if right now Abe, if he was in range, Abe tried to shoot me, I would have cover, but he wouldn't have cover if I tried to shoot him. But except for because of that. Like if he was sitting out in the open.
Yeah.
But it specifically has to be the commander of that unit.
He has to be touching it.
That's my man.
All right, that unit is what was their second action?
Oh,
because they moved up.
Crying. Yeah, second action is crying.
Just thinking about it.
Like I said.
I don't think there's anything.
Crying.
Yeah, dodge is the way to go.
All right.
Weep for me, little man.
Dodge token. Jen needs a whole bunch of tokens.
Weep for me, little
just gonna give you a bunch of tokens, Jen.
Abe is the new Larry of tokens.
That's because the box is here.
It's not my fault.
Abe likes to hold all of the tokens on his side of the board, so I have to ask him every time because he wants me to have to talk to him.
All right, and that is the evade token for that group of stormtroopers. Back to the rebels.
No one never talks.
Same thing as you're seeing here.
I'm sure you had to chicken last night.
Star Wars Legion
shrimp
uses an interleaved unit activation sequence, so it's not you go, I go. It's back and forth until both sides are done. So
that is you go, I go. Oh, you mean like
you go
all of your...
is the classic 40k, which is
like,
it's my turn,
you go,
everything
I go,
goes.
You go, I go, you go, I... Yeah, so it's not you go, I go. It's you go, I go, you go, I go, you go, I go. It's like a
so this is faster.
It's a war chant.
Right, okay, I got it.
I like it.
So Abe, you flipped over your token. What did you get? Troops?
Troops.
Okay, so that's the triangle token.
Into here.
Alright.
It is acceptable if you're double moving to just move all your guys at the end.
Because the only one that matters for purposes of movement and cover and whatnot is the champion. I was going to say champion, the commander of the unit.
Yeah. So the rebel leader is this guy right here. If we later when we're zooming in and you can see him more, he has the rebel squad leaders have they have a very fashionable cape and binoculars.
Yes. So fashionable.
And then Abe flips over the token. So those guys didn't evade because they moved twice. So which is why they got so far up there. Also. There's those rebel squads have a
I did it again.
have a non-human in them.
They do. They have a Duro.
He's blue.
I did the same thing I did last game, which is I meant to activate my ATST as my one dude, but I picked up Darth Vader's token again. So I just drew my ATST's token, but it should be Darth Vader. So this should live here and Vader.
Alright, so you randomly drew Vader. Okay. So that's like the HQ or the general or whatever it's called, the command category. Also, it's interesting to note that when you put those tokens into your unit activation pool, there isn't a token per particular unit. Those tokens represent unit categories. So as an example, because Jen has 3 units of stormtroopers, there's not 3 different tokens for each of those stormtroopers that are specific to the unit. There's just simply 3 troop 3 core tokens. So anytime she draws one of those, which is the triangle, she could use it on any of her 3 stormtrooper units.
Okay, you're back to you.
Heavies.
Okay, Darth Vader moved up behind that barricade over there in the center right.
He's trying to force choke the barricade right now.
He's not going to force choke the barricade. What he is he's sitting right near that 3rd objective.
He's practicing in the corner. He's like, all right, nobody's around, nobody's watching. All right. Work on it. All right.
All right, looks like Ava's thing is going to be moving.
No, that's not right. All right, maybe. No, that doesn't look right either. I need the cape to be like.
Your practice force choke is fantastic. Like, just imagine in front of a mirror for 2 hours.
Gotta loosen up. Gotta get that cloak swishing.
It's like, do you move the fingers and the thumb stays still,
right?
Or does the finger stay still and you move the thumb?
A this, or is it a this? How are we doing this?
Like, what's the technique for the proper
posing 101 with Darth Vader?
The proper force choke. So many different ways of doing it. The guys from the Outer Rim do it one way.
Subtlety and nuance are
the guys from the Capitol do some
dodge with this guy.
Ooh, aim and.
Why are you aiming and dodge? What does aiming do for him?
Nothing.
I don't think you're just doing it because you can.
He's just being weird. Okay, so the ATRT
got it.
Basically did nothing this turn. Back to the
more troops.
Flip it over.
Want some
so we can see it. So everyone can see it. Okay, and who are we going to use it on? On that unit over there?
The troops she's got left.
All right, so she.
That's not true. I have these guys.
That is properly called. That's properly. Those are core.
Those are core.
So it's a core unit, and that's like the military, like the Marine Corps. That's CORPS, core. So she drew that. That's the triangle. She's going to use it on this unit of stormtroopers.
That's not your leader.
It's not the leader. That's the leader. She's picking the leader up. She's going to move him there. Oh, so she's just going to go ahead and double move the unit. And then okay, so they moved, both of their activations were to move. So there's an example of like one of you guys asked how far. That's just a standard unit. They moved about a foot probably.
They're running.
Yeah, and they're running.
Running.
They put their token next to them to indicate that they have moved.
Luke Skywalker, hero of the rebellion.
No. My bad.
All right, Luke. What's he gonna do? Abe drew the this right here, this symbol. That is the command, basically. So that's for Luke. He only has one unit.
My roommate's been talking recently about getting.
The movement.
Yeah, they're over here. I've been putting him in the middle so you can get to him.
Andrew says he wishes that Abe's name is actually Lee, because then we can watch Legion with Lee Jen.
Hey!
I like that.
Good.
My
We're just gonna call you
roommate
Lee.
has been considering getting their first tattoo. And has been considering the rebel symbol with the rainbow flag for trans pride.
Sure.
And so now I'm tempted to counter that with getting the leadership symbol.
Are you gonna get a
That'd be great.
The Imperial logo?
Not the Imperial logo, just the symbol of leadership.
Oh. You should do the Empire.
That's right, boo. Go big or go home.
So Luke is going to use a special action of jump.
Oh, what does that do?
The jump.
So when he moves, he can just ignore terrain.
Terrain. Oh, right, because he's.
Which we don't even know the rules for terrain, so it's irrelevant.
So
I imagine Yoda's gonna have like a triple jump.
Boop. I think Yoda's just gonna be like, he just like, I disappear.
Yoda's
and just
special move is I can be everywhere all at once.
Okay, so there's Luke. He moved up. He just force jumped over that like 8-foot wall, and he's now behind this barricade right there.
And he's Shaduj.
And he's going to dodge, and now put his little token next to him.
Yeah. He's booged.
Wait, so dodge or the jump allows you to ignore terrain?
When I move. I can move.
It's just a special.
So you moved once and you moved. Okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
So you moved.
I wasn't sure if that was an action.
All right, back to
the jump is an action, but it says make a move. And
that ignores terrain.
That ignores terrain. So I did not take a move action. I took a jump action, which includes a move as part of it.
May I have the 2, please?
I don't have the 2. Abe has the 2.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Sadly, it looks like Luke cannot leap into action to combat.
All right. So Jen drew core. I think that is her last core.
Yes.
So that is the last Stormtrooper squad. There they go. Moving on up.
It's like the last Starfighter, but they're Stormtroopers.
But with better special effects.
But with Stormtroopers. Do. 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 Do.
That little token does not want to live on this base. His base is too small for this!
All last Starfighter quotes. Go.
It's been way too long.
Okay.
I've never seen the movie.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
No. I forgot what is it? Do you expect me to live? What is it? Do you expect me to fight? No. I expect you to die.
Okay, ready to go?
Is that a James Bond quote?
That's terrible.
It's probably a quote of many things.
It's gonna be it's gonna be him.
It might be now we die. Now we die. What do we do? Now we die. Okay. So there's the ATRT. That's the Rebel Walker. So he's double moving. But you'll notice that because this is a vehicle, Abe is actually moving as opposed to the infantry who can just move in any direction. Those vehicles have little notches on the front and backs of their bases. So they do have to move. It does. So combined with the fact that they have to notch those movement templates into the front and backs of their bases, and these movement templates only bend so much, it does give you kind of an effective limitation of how vehicles can move, which combined with the fact that most vehicles can only shoot in the front 90 means it's kind of interesting. Mm-hmm. They have to be tricky. You have to be careful about how they move, and as infantry, it's very. I mean, a lot of tactics is involved in the proper placement to like flank and get around vehicles so they can't shoot you.
Much tactics, very wow.
Yes,
but not like World of Warcraft.
But you need to say that like Yoda.
Much tactics. I don't know why I'm such an old Jewish.
That's like a real. Like that is like Mel Brooks. That's not Yoda.
Mel Brooks Yoda. That's a thing.
That's not a thing.
You act like Mel Brooks has never played Yoda.
Okay. Oh, you're right. He has.
Yeah.
That's true. I forgot about that. He did. To Jen. Oh, speeder bikes.
So Gen speeders have to make one compulsory move at the very beginning of their activation.
Right. When they must use it. So that one ended up right there because they're so fast. And now they act. So first they do the mandatory move, which is using the long template.
And they break horribly and die.
Bro, why do you not fit? Oh, it's not.
It's notched. It only goes one way.
I didn't see that.
There we go. Stop. Okay. And so that is the mandatory movement, and now they get there too. So in theory, a unit like like those Imperial speeder bikes, I mean, they could if they were double moving, that's 3 of those things a turn, which is really far. It's almost 2 feet.
Yeah, you can come shoot me.
So the question is, what does Jen want to do with these guys? Because they still get their full actions left. So I don't know what the range is on those guys, but if they're in range, they could take their mandatory motion, then aim and fire. Or they could move.
I don't think they're in range of anything right
now. I have no idea.
But she can zoom up, and
she can definitely zoom up and then fire, for sure. Then she'd be really close. Are you gonna hang back, or are you gonna?
It would be danger zone, and the highway thereof.
That's fancy. I will allow.
Fly, bitch.
I will allow it.
All right. Yeah, and I'm gonna attack you.
Okay, so for her first.
Them.
Okay, so for her
shoot Luke.
No.
So for her first action. So she did the mandatory action.
How many wounds do they have each? Just one.
Then she moved, and for her second action, you're going to attack? Just thinking about it.
Yeah, I am, but
okay.
I don't want to attack.
Luke or the Rebel Troopers?
Can leadership people take objectives? And can bikes take objectives? Because I know in 40K that's a thing.
Bikes are not troopers, so they cannot.
It's troopers that can.
But I believe that I'm not.
I think characters are troopers.
I think characters are troopers.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure Luke and Vader can both take objectives. That's why I thought Vader was hanging out by that door. Because he's just like, come and take that objective, and I'll force choke you.
Well, that's it. He can't force choke in this game. Abe took my force choke away.
Well, because she took the... Daddy took
all I'm thinking of, right? I don't know why. All I'm thinking of is it's my party and I'll force choke if I want to.
It's my party, I'll force choke if I want to.
That was a good turn of...
But apparently not.
That was pretty good. Alright. Who should Jen shoot with those Imperial...
Does she want to go for
Scout Bikers
for a quick assassination move on Luke Skywalker?
Well,
there's no way.
He's got a lot of wounds.
So how many wounds does Luke have? Because the Rebel Troopers have 1 each. Yes, what?
6.
Okay, so it's 6.
Does he have anything that like ignores wounds or anything like that?
No.
So you're not going to kill him, but you could put some you could put some wounds on him. You could really hurt him bad.
Put the heart onto him.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that because he killed Vader last turn and it made me really sad.
Okay.
Okay, so I need 2.
So this squad is gonna fire on Luke, and each scout biker shoots.
Boom. Do I have? I do.
Yeah, each of them shoots 1 red, 1 white, and 1 black die, and there's 2.
And before I modify these surges, you ignore stuff, right? Is that right?
Yeah, who modifies first?
No,
I would assume it's the firing player.
The surges go first.
Surges go first.
Okay, so she has a crit and 2 surge tokens.
So these go into these.
And certain units have, on their card, it will list what happens if you roll a surge die.
So you ignore 1 because of cover?
Yep, and then I'm going to use dodge to ignore another one.
Okay.
Okay, so he's trading his dodge tokens.
So a crit and a hit to you, sir.
So a crit and a hit go through to Luke.
2 defense dice.
And then Luke, everything that goes through the defender gets to roll a defense die, and it will tell you which type. You want the red ones because the red defense dice are better.
I will block both.
Oh!
And because I was dodging, I deflect back them back at you with my lightsaber, and you take 2 damage.
I like how he conveniently didn't mention that to me.
We did this before in the practice game.
But you've seen...
Okay, I've played this game twice, and you expect me to remember everything about your army.
But you've seen The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. That happens all the time. Anytime anyone shoots Luke, he goes, bam, bam!
You
just take 2 damage.
Yeah, you just take 2 damage. Oh.
I feel like I should have the opportunity to deflect that. Where does it say that I don't?
Because it says you take damage, not you get hit by an attack. It just says you take damage.
You just suffer. You just suffer it.
That was a stupid move. Why did you make me? Why did you allow me to make a stupid move rather than trying to help me out?
So that we could show people like Luke Skywalker.
So now you know this is what a stupid move looks like. I'll be going now.
That's what a stupid face looks like. Alright, so I'm going to activate my troopers.
She's not stopping.
She's not stopping. You can't stop her.
Little bolters.
Can I have the
here.
Can I have the movement?
Yep.
No, can I have the movement?
Ah! Really? Oh.
For next time.
She's serious.
I never get to fire it. It's fun.
From a certain point of view. Alright. And they're going to shoot it. Yeah.
And I definitely have cover. Can you even see me?
Yeah.
You totally can't see me.
If you could see Luke, I can see you.
This is a good argument. This is an excellent argument to be made. I'm gonna.
You're not in range though.
Yeah, that's range 1. I have range 2.
Ah.
I mean, I can do range 2.
Got you. I do have cover.
Yes, you do. You do definitely have cover.
So
We'll put all the
2
dice
covers.
right there.
You do have 2 covers.
2 covers. Oh yeah, that's cool. We can leave these.
Yeah, just leave them in the center.
Ugh.
So Jedi's, they're dangerous. Can Vader do that too?
Jedi,
or is it just a Luke thing?
Vader can do that too. Absolutely.
No, he can't.
Absolutely.
I do not have that ability.
You don't have deflect?
No. Yeah, maybe I do.
Vader totally is like,
Vader absolutely has.
Well, they don't have that thing I have.
Han Solo shot Vader in the hand.
Yeah.
Like 4 times, and he was like, whatever.
Alright, so I'm going to fire my 5 troopers.
And by the way, give me your gun.
And my ion cannon, or my ion blaster at you. So this is the attack here. I'm going to get 2 more black dice after this.
So that's this squad. They moved up and they're attacking the speeders.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are the troop bases 25mm or 27?
Probably 27. I think
that is a really specific question.
I'm not 100% certain. Yeah.
I don't know if I have a ruler that can do.
Well, pull out a space right. Let's try.
Yeah. So you get 5 total, right?
That's
so you get 2 more.
So 2 crits and 2 hits, and then nothing.
Okay. So 2 crits, 2 hits. I ignore the 2 hits.
Yep.
So 2 crits that I have to defend against.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to wait until the first person dies.
There's models over there.
Oh, there you go. Okay. People have died, but they're not on the table.
Well,
the base.
I take 2.
All right.
So 1 dude's dead.
1 dude's dead and 1 dude's injured.
I'm going to sign. I have a
other guy's
ruler that's metric.
Island.
The bases are.
And it's back to you.
No, it was 2 wounds, so that guy was dead.
He had 2 on him. He took 2.
We've got a request for Jen to yell no while shaking the table.
Okay.
No!
Okay, who asked how big the bases are?
Well, that hurt my throat. Don't ask me to do that again.
That is from
My turn?
Yes.
Tyler.
Okay, Tyler, they are. So the standard infantry base is exactly 27 millimeters. 27. And now I know way too much about these bases.
27.
Whoa, there goes the AT-ST. Well, don't let it fall. Don't let that thing fall.
I'm not gonna.
Don't put it somewhere where it's gonna fall. You can cheat and move it a little more so it won't fall. That's okay.
So he's like right there.
Okay.
Alright, but I'm gonna leave him there to measure how far an attack is before I put him down right here.
I have a sneaky idea.
Cool. I'm gonna put him here, but he is up there, right? For sake of like distance.
But he is gonna displace your infantry because he walked over them.
No, the center of him walked right here.
Yeah, but it's his. I believe it's his.
You sure that applies to friendlies and not enemies?
Oh yes.
Because that's silly.
Why?
Because you guys would just get out of the way.
Right. They'll get out of the way. That's how it works.
Right, but it's not like gonna it shouldn't like suppress them or do bad stuff.
It does because an AT-ST walk. It is the base.
Okay.
So if the base moves over them, they're displaced.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
I'll move them back a little bit then, because that's fine.
Thank you, RCRW Stevens, for that follow.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then they do get a suppression.
That's fine, but they're gonna lose it at the end of the round anyway, so it's whatever. It's fine. Okay.
Like,
And now
like,
all
what do you
four.
mean? Like if I was an infantry guy, that guy came and walked over my face,
You'd be mad about it.
I would not be happy. Yeah.
I gave you a suppression token, Joe.
Thanks. Okay, so I can't use my motor launcher.
So what just happened there, so you guys know, is in Legion, if a vehicle moves over infantry, friend or foe, if the base moves over another unit, moves over infantry basically, it displaces them, so they have to move out of the way. And when they do that, they suffer. They gain a suppression token, which is this guy right here. And what that suppression token means is that they will, when they activate, they have 1 less action. So it kind of freaks them out a little bit. They're like, "Whoa, hey, this big giant 30-foot thing just walked right over us."
So I'll roll all of these and then 2 more black ones.
So you gotta be a little careful.
All of those and then 2 black ones. Which is a miss. And another miss.
Alright.
Okay. I have impact 3 and impact 1. So 4 of those can be made into crits. 2, 3, 4. So that is all crits.
Yeah.
7 crits.
Yeah.
So what is going on here? So this is the AT-ST has moved up.
I am attacking. That's the flamer guy, right?
Yeah. I need the white dice.
Good, because I specifically wanted to target this homie early on
so
because
that
he's
was-
nasty.
so
He
that-
killed a bunch of guys last game, and I hate
So
it.
that was its primary laser cannon. That's the big one in the front. It fired?
I fired everything.
Oh, okay.
With the exception of
you
the
fired
Warriors.
everything. Okay.
Yeah, the Twin Light Blaster Cannon, the Concussion Grenade Launcher, and the Twin Blaster Cannon, because I am within range 2, and all of those weapons have within range 1 to 4.
Okay, so she lit that thing up. Abe rolled a whole bunch of his defense dice. In general, most vehicles, so there's 2 types of defense dice you roll. There's the red ones and the white ones. The red ones have many more like successes on them. In fact, I think it's twice as many as the white ones. So what that tends to mean is that like guys who are really dodgy or very defensive, like stormtroopers who actually have armor, most infantry are using the red ones, whereas most vehicles and things that can't dodge very easily use the white ones. So it's hard to so kind of the dynamic is it's easy to hit infantry, but they're very squirrely and they can dodge, whereas vehicles are tough to actually put damage on because they have armor. But once you do damage them, they don't evade very well because they're vehicles.
So I took 5 damage. I'm almost dead.
Wow!
And
that ATST lit you up.
Lit me up, and I am.
How many dudes did you take?
5 damage.
Yes, and he only has 6, right?
Yes, and I am damaged, so I have a chance.
Oh, I don't have to roll this time. You rolled.
Technically, the control player rolls.
Woo! So that ATST, it just walked right up there. You saw it, and it laid into that guy. It did 5 out of 6 wounds to it. That's a lot in this game. Like for one volley.
Yeah.
That almost killed that thing. And certain units that can take lots of wounds when they get close to being destroyed, they have a chart that they roll on because they become damaged. They suffer a permanent effect.
Yeah.
Okay, and that is all of my attack, and that is all of my troops. So I believe Abe has 2 more units. Oh, you just have 1 unit more than me this time.
First.
Okay, let's zoom out, Mars, because Abe is going to move his last unit, which is the Speeder.
I'm gonna grab my tea while
That's his big kind of special unit. You can just zoom back to the default because we gotta.
Oh, he's on the corner.
Yeah, he's on the corner.
All right.
Right there. There it is. Right here. There's his Speeder. You saw the Empire Strikes Back. You know what speeders look like and do. There it goes. And it has, I think did we agree? I think it has 1 mandatory move.
I think it still has 2.
I think it's 1.
We'll check it when the rule comes.
Yeah, on Friday. There's an argument on this thing's rules as to we're gonna have to wait until Friday. It has a card that can be interpreted 2 different ways. So it either has 1 mandatory move or 2 mandatory moves before it takes its normal moves. We're gonna let it go as 2 for this game, but we'll find out on Friday.
Tyler was mentioning the reason why he asked about the size of the bases is that he's wanting to build a miniatures transport system that can hold them properly.
Oh,
cool.
Well, yeah, awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, send us pictures of that once you've done it.
Yeah, Tyler? Are you one of those guys are you doing this as a hobby, or are you like one of the you have a laser cutter and you kind of like run a little laser cut business? I know that there's a lot of those guys out there. All right, so it took 2 mandatory moves. Then Abe moved it once, and now it's going to fire, I guess, right? Okay, so as you can see, that thing's super fast. It started way over here, and it ended up, it zoomed, which is one of the things that I think it is actually reminiscent of 40K in 8th edition. In that in Star Wars Legion, stuff moves relatively quickly from turn to turn. This is definitely a game where you're going to see there's going to be a lot of moving around quickly. It's not one of those games where it's like turn 1's here and turn 2's here and turn 3's here. Stuff's going to move all over the place wildly from turn to turn, which is cool.
Taylor says, yeah, he's starting up a business.
Oh, cool.
That's fantastic.
Well, awesome for you, Tyler. And okay, so this guy.
My bikes are pretty much the sacrificial lamb at this point.
All right, so the Speeder has moved up. It has 1 action remaining. I think Ava's going to use it to fire.
Yeah, so it's going to fire.
And who's it going to fire at?
I'm going to fire my main cannons into the back of the ATST.
All right, so he's doing something sneaky because, like we've said, in Star Wars Legion, there's a lot of kind of cool rules mechanics around vehicles that make them kind of really interesting and unique. And the ATST has a weakness to rear attacks. It has a special rule that you have to look at for its rear gen.
My harpoon gun into the poor,
he just gets an extra impact.
The bike. So let's do the harpoon gun into the bike first.
Okay. I do believe so I'll have 2 cover against it.
If I crit, I does something.
That's good.
No.
Okay. Oh, it only does something on a crit.
Well, no, but I only get 1 dice and you have cover, so
gotcha.
I can only hit you.
So this thing has a harpoon gun, a la Empire Strikes Back.
I want that to go off with
I know.
He tried to fire into this guy, but it missed.
I mean, it would be awful for me, but I want it to happen.
It's not that good.
And now its forward weapons are going to fire into the...
black dice.
Oh, you know what? You're not actually attacking it on the rear.
Yeah, I am.
I don't think you
That's
are.
the rear there. It's not clear. So
Is it center to center?
It's not.
Because if it's center base to center base, you're hitting the side.
It doesn't say. So
Well,
for now-
so it's he attacks from his front arc,
Right.
and it's from my rear arc. So
But,
my
yeah.
rear arc is here, and his front arc.
Yeah, I think he's attacking
Is
on the
here.
side. is what I'm
I mean,
saying.
I could get more over there. But we
Yeah,
can't
if he can
use
get
that.
more over there.
His front arc is here and here. So if it extends out that way, I'm still in his front arc.
He is
Oh
over
wait,
there.
but it.
For right now, until they clarify.
Let's just
it's-
count it as rear for now.
It's not clarified. I could be more over if
Yeah.
I need to.
This is going to be what they will.
Yeah.
They will absolutely,
They
knowing
all-
FFG, they'll have a diagram.
Yeah, currently they only have a diagram for shooting out of the front arc, not targeting arcs.
Right. Yeah. This is one of those situations similar to like you see in Armada, where you can sometimes have weird. It can get
And you
weird to
have
figure out
conversions, right?
which arc you're in.
And then I got 4 crits.
Woo! That was a hot roll
Well,
right there.
that's after the. And the arc doesn't actually matter in this situation.
But I mentioned that the harpoon can only fire out of the back arc, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So it tried to shoot this guy, but it missed.
Because he's really fast, and it's kind of hard when he's really fast and you're really fast to hit him with the harpoon gun, apparently.
All right, may I have the white support dice?
Yeah.
So he did help. So
And
she.
it was 4, you said?
4. So the arc actually ended up not mattering in this situation.
Okay, so she's gonna roll,
So I take 3.
and then roll the last one. Made that
I
one.
take 3.
Okay, so she takes 3 points of
Alright,
damage
so I've
and
got
made
one. I
it,
need 2 more.
made it through.
Yeah, 3 for you.
So it takes 3 points of damage, but as an example, how many wounds does the
11 Z's.
Too many. So it still has 8 left. It's
And
in,
at 8, I have weird stuff.
yeah, so it's in great shape.
Okay, so that is the end of turn 1, basically.
Yes.
So there you guys go. That's the
So
end
we
of turn
collect
1.
all of our activation tokens.
Yep. So we now there's a final step where you're gonna clear. You're just gonna tidy up the board, get all your tokens off it, remove your suppression token off that guy, and your evade token because you don't need that. Abe, you have an evade token right there. We don't need that. And that was one full turn. Star Wars Legion. We're going into turn 2 now.
Where?
Good.
Any score in that one, or are we just sitting pretty?
No.
No one has any scores
I
on this
am
one.
missing a
Are you?
activation token.
Are you?
Yeah.
Is it over here? This guy?
Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 5 of them in my hands. I know it's right in front of me, and I'm just not seeing it because it's blending into something.
Is it underneath this? No, there's an island token. Is it underneath him?
What in the world? Okay.
It's gone.
So it's
Which
a
one?
troop token.
It's a
Oh, it's underneath this dude.
There we go.
Okay.
Oh, right,
Great.
because you displaced him and
Yeah,
they moved over.
I moved him and moved it over it.
Okay, so we're going to we're queuing it up. We're going
Okay,
into
so
turn
now in this round, 3 and upper
Yeah.
Right.
aces.
2. Yep. So we're now on turn 2. So limited visibility. Now everyone can see out to range band 3. So the dust is lifting and they can see further. And when we reach turn 3, it's full visibility of the entire board. So they're now both choosing which orders they're going to use this turn. When you use an order card, unless it specifically tells you to reshuffle it back into the deck, it is removed from play. So you do get those orders do go away. So there's there's definitely tactics involved in choosing like what orders are most appropriate early game, mid game,
I know what this
late game.
Currently, the only one that does not run that does not have that problem is the
Standing orders goes back. Right?
standing orders goes back, and that's the one we
Right.
both
That's kind of
used.
like the default power. It's the least powerful of all the orders, and but it never gets burned, so you can always use it, which is kind of cool. So they're both choosing. Mars, let's zoom us out a little bit more. Actually, you know what? Let's leave it because I think that's everything, right? That's the entire So that's everything. We're zoomed into the board a little bit, but our current camera angle for you guys is showing everything. All the units are now in play.
And you said we can only use the measurement stick in regards to our guys on their activation phase,
You can
right?
measurement stick whenever you want. You
No,
can
like
you
this
can
guy?
only, yeah, but that guy, that's the maneuver token. You can only put it next to their base during their activation.
But I can like hold it above him.
Yeah, you
Oh,
can
yeah.
go whenever you
And you
want.
can
a
use
little
these
one.
all you want.
Yeah.
Right there. There you go.
Lilin.
There may be more complex rules for that. I do, as a caveat in the rules reference. I know, like Armada, for instance, I believe it's in their tournament play packet. They have a rule that says you can't ever have both
Right.
the range rule and the maneuver template in your hand at the same time.
Just weird.
Well, it's so you can't specifically go like, oh, I'm going to go here and then measure my range out there. So it limits your pre-measuring a little bit, even though you can pre-measure something.
Basically, it means just like every other FFG game, you should count on, like, a month from now, there's going to be the rulebook that you get in the box. There's going to be the PDF with the master rules index, and then there'll be a third PDF that's the actual competitive, the organized play.
No, they're going to be together this time.
So Are they going to put the advanced and the organized together?
I believe so, because they said because the competitive play tournament, the competitive play.
Because they normally keep the competitive play things separate because they change them every year.
But I think they're going to change this. That's why I think it's in that PDF. Because it specifically says that the competitive play rules for terrain are in the rules reference.
Sure.
So that means that to me says that the competitive rules are there.
That is a possibility. We'll find out on Friday.
Yep.
Shall we?
All right, here we go. We're revealing orders. The Empire.
I ambush you!
I ambush you!
No, I ambush you!
No, I ambush you!
No, I ambush you!
Wow, you two are like on like the psychic wave connection. This is weird.
That's right. That's how we do.
I get to go first.
Again, you should roll that next time.
No, it's
every time he rolls.
me. It says it in the rules.
It's specifically the person who holds the token.
Yeah. Sure.
So next game, I'm gonna fucking hold the token. Bullshit. He decides he gets to hold the token, so he gets to go first.
You know, the first rule of Imperial Club is there's no swearing.
We know that's not true. You know Darth Vader's swearing up a storm at the incompetence of his dudes.
Oh, by the way, that's where the term is.
Step 3, prepare a round counter. The rebel player takes the round counter.
Ooh.
Lame.
Nice.
You know what? I need to hear you. I break the rules. What?
All right, so
Shock.
So Abe is going to use ambush
and you're gonna run away like the little chicken
on his
you
ATRT.
are.
Does that only does the ambush affect one unit? One unit. Okay, so what are you gonna? Yeah, what is your one unit? Who you're gonna use it on? Of course.
Do you mean Darth Vader?
No, I do not.
Just want to be clear. Okay, so I'm Shock-and-Awe going to activate him first. Now I do have to roll.
He's trying to get that one last hit in.
So this is an example of what I was talking about, folks.
This is gonna be nasty. He's gonna wipe these stormtroopers off the planet.
So
wait for it.
While there is the random order activation pool, the reason unit activation pool, the reason orders exist is so that you as a commander from turn to turn, you can choose key units and be like, it's important to me this turn. This, I need this unit to do something now. So Abe used his order specifically.
And that's disabled, and you're not allowed to move, right?
I can move.
Yeah.
I thought it said you're disabled.
No, disabled is I roll white dice at the beginning of my activation. If I get a blank result, I only get one action. There's another one. I'm damaged. If I'm disabled, I have to spend 2 actions to move.
How do you determine you're disabled?
You roll randomly. You roll that's the dice roll.
Gotcha.
So I can act for
so Abe used his ambush command.
It says specifically only on the shield.
On the AT
on
the ATRT specifically because he knew it was almost dead, and he knew if he needed to do anything with it, he needed to get it. He needed to activate it right now at the very start of its move before Jen could finish it off.
And I'm going to use my flamethrower to burninate the countryside.
And that's why he activated it, because that thing has a
it's
flamethrower.
Nasty,
it's really nasty.
Which is why I went for it first.
Yeah, it has a really short range, and Jen would have absolutely tried to blow that thing away.
So I'm still gonna.
We both gambled a little bit there. I gambled by running him forward to try to get him into range for a flamethrower. I was pretty aggressive. Jen was aggressive going after him.
Yep.
Almost whacked him.
It's a Harry!
We got a request for Cat Cam.
Yes! Woo! Cat Cam, best cam.
The flamethrower is a bit of a special weapon. It only has 2 black dice, which isn't very many dice. But it has the special ability
Is it synthetic? Synthetic is usually the one asking for Cat Cam.
That is correct.
So it has the special ability Blast, which means it ignores cover.
Okay.
Front arc only, so it can only shoot out the front, which I am in the front arc. And then it has the ability Spray, which means I get to roll to this attack versus every model in the unit within range.
Ugh, which is rough.
Which is all 6 of them. So I'm going to get a 12 black die attack.
Right, so 12 die. This is what Jen was really trying to stop. And she almost did it. And as
I
soon
didn't
as she
think
gets
he had enough movement.
and
to
as
get
soon
to
as she
me.
gets to counterattack, she's just gonna either blow that guy away.
I didn't think you had enough movement to get your ATST in range of me. So.
Or that ATSD is just gonna be like rage fire, like kill all those rebel guys in front of it.
He's still. Oh, he's gonna do both.
Remember, you can fire all 4
I know.
weapons.
All right. So I get this 4 times.
I'll come right back.
Okay, good.
I'm
So
coming
that's
right back.
a
Not going
crit
anywhere.
and 2 hits. That's 4 hits and a crit. It's 5 hits and a crit. And that converts to crits. So that's 6 hits and 2 crits, but you don't have a dodge or cover, so that's just 8 saves. Which should
And
not...
I need the red
Yeah.
dice arenas. They're over here.
Which means that they're gonna
You
live.
said 8.
8.
Woo, baby. All right, so 2 die,
2 die.
3 die,
Mm-hmm.
4 die.
4 die. You get a suppression token.
Not enough to kill the unit this time.
Not enough. I didn't kill it last
Okay.
time either.
All right.
I still have to do it with him now. Hello, Vader. I'm going to displace them. So you can place him where you want. And they do get another suppressant token because I ran you over. And it's just not a good day to be a stormtrooper over there.
It's just really not.
Cause like everything's on fire. and
Everything is
And
awful.
this guy is stepping on us. And Darth Vader's over there, which really isn't good for a stormtrooper either. It's just not good.
All right, I got troopsies.
All right, so you're not activating him yet.
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna wait.
Oh wait.
I'm gonna see if I can knock him out with some other dudes.
Oh, Jen using them mage strategies. Or
And he's
they,
within 2 of them.
or are they stratagems of madness?
Oh, and I moved him, but he's meant to be in contact with this guy. Sorry. I moved him when I moved my...
Technically, I get to move him.
No, you move him out of the way and I get to place where they go, is what you told me last game.
The person, yeah, if I overlap them, but you overlapped your own guy. It's the other
So
person.
why would you get to move it?
Because it's the person who overlaps, whose model does the overlapping, the other person gets to place them.
That's dumb.
That's a punishment for overlapping, basically.
Alright, so I'm going to aim...
So the reason they do that, Jen, is specifically so that you can't get extra movement by overlapping your own model.
That makes sense.
You could be like, oh, I overlapped the very big back end space and move them forward.
I am going to... I'm going to think.
Vader will kill him. You can probably leave him to Vader. Leave him to me.
And it's if the leader's in range, you're all in range, right?
Well, no. You're all in range.
What do you mean?
If your leader is in range, all of your models are in range, but you still have to be in range of my individual models. Remember, you can only kill models that are in range, but you have range 3 right now. It's turn 2. All right.
Oh, it's more than 3. Got it.
Right, so
Okay.
you are...
This unit is going to fire on this unit,
Sure.
and they're going to aim.
Okay. Stormtroopers shooting me.
Okay, so I need the black dice and the white dice, please.
So these guys here. I'm shooting these
Oh, no.
guys here.
Black and the whites, please. I don't need the red ones.
I don't need 'em.
I don't need them.
Ah!
Okay. So I get 3 black dice,
Our poor little
and I
bunker
get
here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 white dice.
Oh, the Imperial Stormtroopers are this precise. Well, okay.
Alright, so
Only
3
Imperial
black
rocket launchers
dice
are this precise.
and 5 white dice.
Okay.
And then I get to reroll 3 because
Yes.
I have the aim. 1,
Nope.
2, another crit. 3 is a fail. Okay, so 3 crits there.
Then I get rid of 1.
I have impact 3,
Which
so
happens
these
later.
3.
Which happens after cover. You modify dice after cover.
Okay, so you ignore 1.
So I ignore 1. And then I take 5.
5 crits.
Yeah, which doesn't matter. Because they're infantry.
Huh?
Which doesn't matter because they're infantry.
I feel better about it when they're crits.
So 1, 2, 3. All the normies are dead. I'm suppressed.
I was hoping for that weird boy to die.
Why?
Because he's awful and shot all my dudes last game.
But the weird boy is in Matt's orc army, and he did die. Twice, I think.
Well, that's what I'm calling your blue-headed guy over there. The one who does the crazy shooty stuff.
He just has a gun.
Which dude did you have in your unit that did the crazy attack damage and did like the ion stuff?
This guy.
Oh. Well, that's the guy I want to die. I assumed
Not
it was
the
the blue
Duro.
guy because he was cool looking.
You're just like, I want that alien to die because I'm the Empire, and we
Oh,
hate
that's awful
aliens.
of me.
I mean, but
I
that is
hate
what...
myself now.
Yeah.
Oh, typical Darth Vader, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Alright, my turn. An infantry unit.
Oh, look at his little feet.
Got a question of saying, would this be a first war game to play?
I think it's a pretty good one, actually, to be your
Yes.
first one. I mean,
This is my second war game that I've ever played. The first one being Warhammer. And Warhammer is very rules intensive, unit intensive. Like, it's a lot to take in. Like, I've been playing for, 5 months now, and I still have difficulty keeping track of everything.
No, the movement stuff.
Oh, sorry. This is our third game playing this system, and I feel really confident in knowing how things move and how they interact with each other on my end. I think given another game, I'll have a better understanding of what Abe's stuff is doing. But having never played war game stuff until this last year, I think this is a great system to start with. Especially if you have any knowledge of the Star Wars universe. Everything is really intuitive. Like, things shoot and work the way you would think they would based on the movies. Harry's so damn cute. He's like,
Secondary
Mom,
quest for Cat Cam.
Mom's loving me. I love life. Life is great. Give him toe bean cam.
Can I get
Yes, toe beans. Oh, I love toe beans.
We're going to shoot the AT-ST.
Okay.
Sweet. Yeah, I like that. So it's 3 crits and 2 hits.
Okay.
And another crit and a hit. So 4 hits and 3 crits. We don't have any cover here. And then I am impact 1. So that is going to be 4 crits.
And which unit is attacking me?
This unit here. And this does have an eye. I can't attack in it.
How many was what?
4. So your armor ignores all my hits. Whamp, whamp, whamp. But I did do pretty decent there with crits. Ooh, do you have a defense surge?
I do, because I'm awesome.
No, why are you all armored and stuff?
3, 4. So I take 2.
Okay. And you are armed as well. That's my activation.
And this is 6 damage?
It has 7.
Tyler, that's a really great idea of going ahead and when you buy the starter box, splitting it with a friend, so you have a friend choose which side they want to play, and then you just split the models up.
Yeah, it's really good. And the starter box is a very aggressively priced box. It's $89.99, I think, US. So remember, he only gets 1 activation. He's Ioned.
And they have said that they're
I don't have any
limited
way to
to
counter
just
that.
2 factions.
Okay, well then I'm just
So-
going to...
So you can, these guys are in your front arc if you want to shoot them.
Yeah, I'm just going to shoot them off the planet. Okay,
Okay.
that's great. That was actually a really solid move of yours. Can I have all those dice, please?
So, but yeah, it's good because if they get to iron you again.
Yes.
You know.
May I have the long stick, please?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, it's about $89.99 for the starter set. It comes with.
So is he.
Oh, good point.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, now he's not anymore.
Uh-huh. All right, so I'm gonna murder his face.
Sure. Sure, whatever. I'm not sure he was before, but that's fine.
He was. We both agreed that he was.
You picked him up, so I'm not certain, but that's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, because he was here and I moved him in a straight line.
Yeah, I think he was here one more turn because I don't think I'm not in your rear arc anymore, and I was. You've turned him.
Because he was here and I moved him here to here. So he would have been facing like that way.
Right that way, because this guy was. When I measured it, this guy was barely in your front arc, but the other guy was. But I don't think the other guy was. But it's fine if you want to shoot him.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to be cheating.
No, it's fine.
I ain't trying to be cheating,
It's
although I'm trying to be cheating.
It's fine. So yeah, the starter box is like $89.99, and it comes with about $200 worth of models. If you were to buy them on their own, you get roughly 400 points.
And you get to ignore stuff?
I get to ignore 1. Do you have offense surges on that thing?
No.
Okay, so the surges are gone. I get to ignore 1.
And then the rest of those will be crits.
Yeah, so 4 crits. Yeah, so it's about 400 points per side, roughly. I need the white dice. You have them all. And about $200 worth of models were you to buy it individually. So buying 1 or 2 and splitting them with a friend is a really good way of building up a pretty core army. I mean, definitely good. Or I mean, what we have here is 1 starter box and then 1 of all the expansions that are coming out at the beginning, basically, and that allows us to build an 800-point army for each of us with some variety in there. We played slightly different armies last time, so you could do that with your friend, and for about for about $200 you could for less, for like $150 you could each have 800-point armies.
And they have already announced the second wave of
Yeah.
models that are going to be coming out.
Yeah, I don't know if they've called it waves technically. We were trying to decide this when we were writing an article. I don't know if they actually are calling them waves yet, but they have announced more sets that are releasing. We don't have a defense surge, so I take 3. Oh!
Half dead.
No!
You're halfway there.
Stop it! I don't want to be moving.
No.
I don't have a
We're
wing.
living on a cliffside.
That's fair.
And it's your turn.
It is my turn. Oh, and you clear your ion token.
Get that out of here. It's nasty.
Oh, what's your wound threshold on him? Or his damage?
8.
8. Alright. So I get to activate. Ooh. Nice.
Killiards, thank you very much for joining us. We like having you.
Hey, welcome to the Belfry.
Welcome to the Belfry. Da 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 da. Danger zone.
Hi. How's it going? See, he's coming over to my side.
The dark
Now
side.
on the dark side.
Now I'll do the choking. That's what the dark side does. Alright. Right.
Now that you've thrown my jacket all over the place.
I know. I put this guy in like the worst possible position to actually move him because he's right in the middle
How
of the board.
dare you not think 2 turns ahead?
I know.
I'm gonna move over here out of the way.
I'm going to go here. I'm going to overlap these 4 guys, Jen.
Yeah.
So you can put them where you want. Do you have a preference?
On where they go?
Yeah, you got to put them somewhere.
I'd like them to be, it's within an inch, a movement,
within
right?
a short movement, yeah.
Yeah, put them down here.
And they get a suppression token. Then I'm going to move to here. Now I'm going to rotate. I'm going to shoot you in the butt.
That's rude.
Yeah.
Consent.
Well, I'm not. I'm just shooting. I feel like if you had to get consent to shoot someone, like, no one would ever get shot. And then how would we have murders?
Duels. That's consensual murder. You have to agree to a duel.
That's fair. Alright, so I'm gonna whack you in
Then
the
it's classy murder.
classy murder. Don't have an offensive surge. You do have cover, so that gets rid of 1, so that's 3 crits against you.
It seems that we now have a president and vice president of the Harry Fan Club.
Ooh.
Yeah, wait. I'm
Synthetic
totally-
and really hurts.
whatever. I'm totally the president. No, I'll be the parliamentarian.
Yeah, you didn't form into time. You want to be the general secretary?
No, I'll be the parliamentarian. There's less work.
The general secretary.
Less work up front.
That's where all the power lies, though.
Yeah, I don't want that.
You could be the
I just want to be able to sit back and judge people and tell them when they're out of order.
You don't want to be
That's
the
all I
Joseph Stalin?
No. I just want to sit back and not have to do anything, have a flashy title, and be able to tell people when they're wrong.
That's fair.
2.
2.
So I'm up to 7. I just need one. I need 1 wound token.
Oh, a 3.
I already put 1.
But we don't have too many wound tokens. I'm gonna get this thing this time.
No, you're not.
Maybe
Alright,
not.
so that was your turn?
That was mine. You can toss him over there. Like next to my
Oh.
next to Wedge on Cuties.
You said toss it. I'm like,
no more activation.
Vader! Darth Vader!
Alas,
Alright,
poor AT-RT.
I'm gonna move
I
him.
hardly knew you. And then you're gonna move me again. Ooh. You can move fight twice and fight, remember?
I know he can.
Okay. I like how Jen's like really scared to get Vader near Luke now.
Alright, so I'm gonna... Now, does it literally have to be base to base?
Base to base, so you have.
Okay, well then a second move,
And then you
and
fight.
I'm gonna attack you. I get my free tax. Taxies, backsies.
I don't like no taxes without representation.
Because I'm relentless. I
Nope.
get to perform a move, action, and then a free attack.
No taxes without representation.
Okay, and that is
Red. 6 red.
Jules.
Ooh. Vader stab my
That
face.
is a crit and 2 hits.
Okay.
Another crit and another hit.
Okay. And then you have.
And then I get to convert 3 of those
Ooh.
into crits, so that is 5 crits.
All right. Where the white dice at?
Right over here, boo.
All right.
Merry Christmas.
All I need to
Happy
do
New Year.
is make all 5 of these saves.
That's fine. You're not gonna.
I'm
Yeah.
dead.
Fail. Pass. You dead.
He's
You
dead.
dead, boo. You dead. But don't you explode or something dumb?
No.
Oh, okay.
I wish you would think that with my giant.
Oh, it's only your speeder that explodes?
Nothing
In a
explodes.
dramatic...
No, nothing explodes.
I thought you said that...
I did.
Oh, you were joking.
I was.
I took you at your
I
word.
know. You're so wonderful like that.
Yeah, I am totes gullible. You can tell me something in a serious face, and I am compassionate and empathetic and will believe you when you tell me the things.
Alright, and then for my next action...
Veda, you are fantastic!
Trubas! So I guess these guys, before they are hardly murdered, are going to go... they are going to go ahead and dodge and shoot you in the face.
Synthetic Divine and I have decided that if Harry jumps on the table and rampages during this game, that he will be temporarily titled Darth Harry.
I feel like he should be Darth Harrison. Like, it sounds more epic.
Yeah.
Darth Cadius. Ooh.
Alright, so 2 crits.
I like how Larry was all, I'll be right back. And then he disappeared forever.
2 crits against you, Jen. Against ATST. From my grenade launcher, your favoritist.
One of which I block.
Alright. So you take a damage, which is your wound threshold.
Yeah, I am at 8.
Okay, so it's when equal your wound threshold, so you're going to go ahead and roll a red dice. Red defense dice.
And what happens when I do the different things?
So on a shield, you're damaged. That's the one where you may or may not get to act fully. On a blank, you're disabled, which means if you...
So I'm either damaged or disabled. I have no choice.
Or if you get a surge, your weapon destroyed. And one of your weapons is destroyed. Which actually is the best result for you, probably. So nothing, so you are disabled.
So which means I can't move?
It means if you move, it's going to take you 2 actions to do 1 move action.
Okay.
Which is very... And you can't go backwards either.
So I basically am fucked.
It's very bad for you now, yes. Unless I walk in front of you, you're in trouble, because you're also ioned.
Why am I ioned?
Because that was my irony that did it.
You had already attacked with them.
With this squad, and then this squad is the one that did
Oh,
this.
they're both in range? That's dumb.
It's range 3. This game has pretty long range.
Okay.
Alright, and that was my turn. Before these guys die hard. Actually, hang on 1 second. I need to check and see.
And if I have 1 suppression, I have to roll a die to see if
I
it
have
does
to. I
something?
had to roll for me. So hang on. I may not be able to dodge.
Oh, I hope you can't dodge.
Rally. 1 white dice. Okay, so I cannot dodge because I am suppressed. So I only got the 1 action, so I could not dodge. So it is to you, Jen.
Alright, and I pulled a troop card.
You can see me.
Did Luke take damage before?
Nope. He bounced it back,
Alright.
back.
These bros are gonna attack that unit over there.
Okay.
And I've got the DLT-19, which is the 2 red dice.
And some white dice. Some vitamin
And
dice.
then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 white dice.
Oh wait, so they didn't
And
take...
I'm going to aim and attack.
So they are suppressed though, right?
Oh yeah, they have 1. What do I do with that?
So you roll the white dice.
Uh-huh.
If you get not a blank, you pull off the suppression.
I pull off the suppression.
Okay, so you're fine.
Okay. And I need the other white die. Where's that hanging out?
Yeah.
Thank you. Four. So that's a hit.
So 3 hits and a crit.
5. So that's
4 hits and a crit.
and then I get aim.
Mm-hmm.
So I will re-roll one of these and 1 white one.
Sure.
One of those and 1 white one. So that one's still a miss.
Alright,
So it was
5 hits and 1 crit.
5 hits and 1 crit. And you have cover, so you get rid of 1.
I get rid of 2.
Okay. which still leaves me. So it was 6 total. 1 was a crit already, so that's 4 total. And I have impact 1, so one of those also turns into. Which doesn't matter because they're troops.
So I got 5 saves.
Yeah. I will say the one thing that sucks about this game in the beginning is that the box set does not give you enough dice. It gives you 3 of each die. Like 3 white d6, 3 red d6, and 3 each of the black, white, and red d8s. And that's not enough to do anything. So it gets pretty confusing pretty quickly when you're like trying to remember how many you have to re-roll or how many you have re-rolled or
It is annoying.
I don't like having to keep numbers like that in my head. I'm not good at it.
You got 4 done, Jen.
Nice.
My inventory's not doing so hot today.
Good.
Alright, my turn. This dude.
Oof.
I do really want to kill it. So he's going to aim and shoot your big guy. I need a red dice. Impact 3, so that is going to be 3 crits.
Ooh. On my big guy?
On the big guy.
Yeah, I did my dice.
Yeah.
That's 1. I failed 2. He's down to 1 wound. I'm just gonna take all these off.
Sure.
1 wound left.
Almost got him. That was him.
Alright. Got a troop. And that's these dudes, so I have to roll 2 suppression dice.
Yes.
One of them goes away and one of them does not, so I get 1 activation.
You get 1 activation. Because the scouts, they're scared.
Now, line of sight does matter, right?
Yes.
Then the only thing they can attack is this guy,
Yeah.
which they will definitely do.
Sure.
So they're definitely not within range 1.
Seems unlikely.
Yeah. Nope.
Well, it's not from the end.
I could grenade myself. It's not from what?
It's this end, not from the end of that piece.
Right.
Yeah. But
Alright, so I've got
not much
a
different.
white diamond
Da, da, da.
and 2 red diamonds.
Okay. Don't fail me now, Wedge.
Okay, so that's a hit.
Right.
And that's a hit. And you
Double cover.
and the cover is applied before so I don't get to make this a crit.
The impact was only for armor. It's not for getting to cover or dodge.
Okay, so that's nothing.
Not too fast for her for her lasers.
You're standing still. You've been standing still this whole time.
Infantry. Infantry, go. These guys are going to. What do you have left to activate?
Just the bikes.
Okay.
Bike.
Right there. So they're going to aim and shoot the bikes. 5 white dice and 6 white dice and 5 black. 2 hits. 3, 4 hits. 5 hits. So that's 6 hits. You do ignore 2 of them due to your double cover. So 4 saves, Jen. Nope.
Dead. Okay. And so that was his turn. He can't take a turn because he's dead.
Right. And it's a Luke Skywalker, hero of the rebellion. What does Luke Skywalker, hero of the rebellion, want to do?
And there's nothing I can do to get rid of an ion token other than it goes away at the end of your turn.
No. That's his action.
I mean, his turn.
Sure.
His...
Yeah. Correct.
We are discussing our thoughts on the Han Solo movie in chat.
I'm excited about it. I mean, I'm sure it'll be the usual clusterfuck that happens when you've got 2 or 3 different directors and writing crews and shenanigans, but I'm intrigued. I'm interested to see what will happen.
I'm hoping that we get a Lando movie with Glover, because I think that would be
I
amazing.
like him. I like him as an actor. Yeah, I was just thinking, I'm more excited to see what he's going to do with Lando than I am excited to see what they're going to do with the guy who's playing Han.
I agree.
Okay, that's everything. And ambush goes away.
Ambush does go away.
Alright, points. So I killed your flamer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and it's only 1 point per thing, right?
Basically,
Which is so dumb to me.
Well, we don't know the competitive rules, because that's in the packet.
Because it's like, there's no... I mean, if I just take a bunch of troop units... Like,
well,
it makes sense to me that there should be more points rewarded for killing a big thing than a small thing. Because otherwise, if you just take a bunch of small dudes,
so I
you're going to get all the points.
But we don't actually know what the rules are.
That's fair.
Because all we have is the beginner rules, which say that that's what it is, and then we have the mission rules, which technically, if you go by just the mission rules, you don't even get points for killing things. It's just controlling the objectives. So we don't actually know what the rules are right now.
All right.
So we are each at 1 point, basically. Shoot. Hang on. At the end of my turn, Jen, I'm going to use Jedi Mind Trick on this unit here with Luke. It's a unit within.
What does that do?
So you pick a unit with infantry within range band 2 of him, and they get 2 suppression tokens.
They don't. He doesn't have to have line of sight or anything. Oh, that's so dumb.
Choose your enemy unit range 1 to 2. Through. You do not want to fight.
And that's at the end of his turn?
That's on his turn. That's on his activation.
Okay, so then at the end of, since that's the end of the round,
yes,
1 dude goes away.
One of those will go away. So we pull up 1 from everything.
And this guy goes away.
Alright.
Okay, let me pull all these off.
Mm-hmm.
That was the worst turn. Hi, JR. Yeah.
He's hiding.
I'm not
can I
here.
have Wedge's activation?
No!
Ignore the voice from behind the curtain.
Ignore me!
We don't have a curtain.
Ignore me!
I don't want to. I like you.
No, stay over there, Jen. Don't come over here.
I'm doing it.
We don't want none of that.
Yeah, you do. You want all of it.
No, we really don't. Please. Please stay over there. It would be really cool if you stayed over there. Guys, tell her to stay over there. No one wants none of this Darth Vader stuff. Alright.
What you got?
What you got?
What do you got? I went first last 2 times.
Son of Skywalker.
New ways to motivate them.
Ah, rah.
What's yours do?
So it's initiative 1, and after Luke Skywalker performs his first attack, he may perform 1 additional attack.
Okay. I have new ways to motivate them. I get to activate 2 troops. When a friendly non-Darth Vader trooper unit with a face-up order token activates, it may suffer 1 wound to perform a free action.
Alright, so I have to make Luke mine. Who are your 2 guys?
I will be choosing my unit here.
Okay.
There's really nothing I can do with him.
Well, it has to be a trooper, so it has to be one of your.
Oh, it can't be him. Right.
Correct. It can be Darth Vader,
It can be.
but he won't get to motivate himself. New way
Yeah,
to
it's gonna be
motivate.
him.
Alright. So, Luke is going to activate. He's going to jump up here. And he's going to stab you. He's going to stab you very poorly. 2 hits.
Okay.
So 2 of you guys die.
I mean, not necessarily.
I ignore two saves because it pierced 2. So with only 2 hits, there's nothing to do. You can't avoid that. It can't be him.
It can be. I have to reassign him though. He's
no.
the closest guy to you. You're
That's-
killing it.
that's-
You are using a melee attack.
But it's only if he's the only person.
But I would argue because you are melee attacking, it is the person that you are attacking.
No, melee.
Let's look that up.
Melee's different.
So do you think Lando would have kept the Millennium Falcon super, super shiny and detailed, or...
Oh yeah, because he's stingy as fuck. Han's much more reckless, much more like Cavalier Devil May Cry. Lando is very afraid of everything, so he would have kept it back and kept it secret, kept it safe.
Okay, so it does not seem to apply to melee, but it's also line of sight, not range. So because
What does that mean?
so I have line of sight to these guys, so they can be removed as models.
Your melee attack?
Yeah, my only attack just kills models and units.
That's what I was asking about. If melee attack allows you to attack anybody in range, or like the person you're touching, or anybody in that unit.
Well, it's anyone in the unit because that's how melee works. It's the unit.
Alright, take your second attack.
Yeah. 3 hits. So 5 hits. So you get 5 saves.
Oh, you only get to use that thing once?
No, I get it, but it blocks. If you take 5 saves and then I ignore 2 of your successful saves.
So 2 of my guys die no matter what.
Yes, but possibly more. So you get red dice. Stormtroopers.
Oh. Great, because I didn't like those anyway.
You have a defense surge? No.
I do not.
So 1 save, 2 failed.
You said it was 5?
Yeah.
So, 3.
4.
Did I math right? 4. So yeah,
and
everybody's
then I
dead.
ignore the last one.
Well, and everybody's dead anyway.
Yeah.
Because I only have 4.
And then for my action, my other action, I will dodge. And I will use force reflexes to get 2 dodge tokens.
Wait, you moved, and then you attacked.
Right, but I
And
have charge, so I have to, just like Darth Vader at the end of a move, I get to attack. After you perform a move action, you make a free melee attack action. So I moved once, I attacked, then I get an additional attack because of the card. And I still have an action. You killing stormtroopers.
Why do you have 2 dodge?
So I dodged once, and then I used my force power of force reflex.
So much stuff. Luke is so OP.
Luke is not bad.
Oh, he's not bad. He's not bad.
You can still reckon with Vader. And that's Luke, so it's to you.
Can we get a quick overrule of how the game works? Or just kind of an overview of like turn structure and that kind of fun stuff? We got somebody new in chat.
Yeah, sure. So basically, at the beginning of every turn, it's an interleaved action game. So at the beginning of every turn, we pick one of our command cards here. I can show you them. They look like this. They're going to determine your initiative, and an initial pool of units you can guarantee you're going to be able to activate. You place tokens. Then we each take turns activating units. We can either choose to activate one of the units that we have put our that we chose based on our card, or we can draw randomly from a command stack, which represents the remaining units. That'll determine the type of unit we can activate. We activate that unit. Generally, on its turn, the unit gets 2 actions. It can move, attack, aim, dodge, recover from being like suppressed or exhausted, or kind of like Overwatch also. It can only attack once, but it can move twice if it wants to, so you'll see some of the times we'll move really far. You do sometimes get free actions, so like what I just did with Luke, I took 5 actions technically, but 3 of those were free actions. So they kind of let me break the rules a little bit there. What was that?
My dudes are suppressed.
Okay. So they get an action.
We're gonna have 2 then.
Okay. So and then you just go back and forth, alternating units and doing that. When you attack, you pick your models. You pick line of sight. You roll dice based on what your weapon stats are. The defenders gets to cancel some due to cover, and then make save against others. And that's pretty much the game. We get a murder. Not my poor infantry. Don't kill my poor infantry.
But it's so fun.
Yeah, that's really the only thing that makes sense, because I can't kill that biggin, and I can't kill Luke with 2 dodge tokens. They're most likely gonna die anyway. The only thing that makes sense. Yeah, I'm gonna kill your dudes.
No.
I'm gonna aim and shoot them.
Did I not say don't do that, Jen?
Yeah, which is why I'm doing it.
She's so mean.
Which is where Abe's like, ha ha ha, I used my trap card. Taunt you into attacking the unit I want you to attack so that you don't attack other things.
You will not attack that unit, Jen.
Watch, the moment I'm done with this turn, he's going to be like, yeah, you shouldn't have done that. You should have done this thing instead. And I'm going to be like, damn it, I forgot that thing.
No, this is actually the right option. I mean, you could take a long shot at this guy with your rocket, but it's not. You actually want to kill them to get rid of my ion.
Yeah.
Because you are whacking my infantry out. It's 2 hits so far.
3.
Yes, on ship left. Those are custom dice for the game.
Alright.
4 hits.
When y'all get a chance, if you could kind of explain what's on the dice, that would be awesome.
And I have aim,
Mm-hmm.
so I get to reroll 4.
But you only have.
This says impact 3.
Right, but you only missed.
So that still misses.
Yeah.
And
We only get 3 rerolls.
I have precise in my aim.
Right. Which is
And then this has impact 3. Oh, that converts them.
Yeah.
My bad. So yeah, so these 3 become crits.
okay, so I'll ignore 1 because of cover and I take 3.
not as good as I would have liked.
Do you have a white dice somewhere hidden amongst your pile of things? One dice. Doo-doo.
Damn.
Can y'all explain what the different types of dice do?
So the D8s are generally your attack dice. The red ones have 5 hits, 1 crit, and a surge, which if you have a surge converts in something, so they are pretty reliable dice, but they're hard, but they don't get a lot of crits. The black one has 3 hits, a crit, and a surge, and then 3 blank faces, so it is a less reliable dice. And the white one is the worst. It has a hit and a crit and a surge. So it's less than half the time you're going to do anything. So white's the worst, black is medium, or red is the best type. Then the D6s tend to be for defense, for making your saves. The white D6 has 1 armor on it and 1 surge. The red D6, which is what like stormtroopers use, has 3 saves and 1 surge. Okay. My turn. Infantry. Go ahead and activate these guys here. And they're going to run up onto the objective and dodge.
What do you mean by surge?
So there's a surge token, there's a defense surge and an offense surge, and certain cards will let you convert that surge into an ability. So for instance, my vehicles let me convert my infantry convert defense surges into saves. My vehicles, these guys, the ATRTs, convert offense surges into crits. Jen's infantry convert offense surges into hits.
Yes.
So there are differences of what they convert things into. And some things do not have any surge. So depending on how good you are, that makes the dice better or worse. Can I see the measure for a second? Trying to get the measure of you. Nah, I can't shoot later. I'm going to run up here and dodge on the objective. Dance party on the landing pad! Alright, Jen. I'm back to you. Who's activating?
I'm thinking about it.
Oh, Padawan. Oh. That's the sound Padawan makes when they're thinking about something. We're on turn 3, aren't we? Yeah.
Okay.
It was 1-1 at the end of turn 2.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Alright, these troops are gonna go.
Alright. Is it pressed at all?
They're gonna move now.
Yeah. Okay. Son of a gun. Oh.
And then they're gonna shoot those guys.
No. Stop killing them.
No! Doing it.
But they're so cool.
Actually, where's my move guy? This guy.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry.
Move, buddy.
Make sure I'm moving him enough.
The move's very flexible. Like, you kind of look at it and you're like, oh, this is the weird thing. And then you actually get down there and you're like, it's not really that restrictive at all. Especially for infantry. They go where they want.
Three hits.
Okay. So I ignore 1.
And one turns into a crit, which doesn't matter because you're infantry.
And I die horribly.
Yes! Finally! Get that ion crap out of here! Ugh!
No!
Something works in my favor this turn.
No!
It's the first time I've killed one of his infantry units ever.
And they would have got to go.
Is that your only other unit?
No. Okay. They're gonna try to kill your big guy.
They gonna fail.
And they might. They don't have a lot of dice here.
Now, do you re-roll your disabled die every turn?
No.
So I just forever only get one turn?
Well, so if you move, you have to use 2 actions to move. That's what it is. Don't have any offense surge, so that you're gonna cover those. So that is 2 crits. Because I have impact 1.
Cat Cam! Best Cam!
Cat Cam is best game.
White
Of course. I believe in you, Jen.
Ugh, dies horribly.
Whew, the Ewoks made it look easy.
Because Ewoks are super OP.
Ewoks are OP. And when they come into this game, it's going to be like, you get the Wicket Commander, and his special card is just like, remove 1 ATST from the game. Back to you, Jen.
Wait, that's not right. I don't have any more troops.
So you get rid of it and you draw another one. Which is Vader.
Oh, Vader.
Son of a gun. Why did Luke get so close to Vader?
Oh no, that's my ATST. He's dead. It is Vader though. He's my only guy left.
Why did Luke get so close?
And he gonna dodge. So give me 2 dodges. Oh, those are your dodges?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter. It's the end of the turn, right?
It's not. I still have units to go.
I get 2. The same way you do.
You don't have force reflexes. That's an upgrade card I have to take.
While defending, if you spend a dodge token... Oh, if you spend it.
Yeah, you have deflect, but force reflex is an upgrade token I have. An upgrade card. Alright.
I keep knocking over. Just gonna put it there.
Infantry, but all my infantry are dead. On speed up.
It's not looking good for me here. You have pretty much destroyed my army this turn.
You've still got Vader.
Yeah, but he's so freaking slow. I can't get him anywhere. You've got Luke with his, like, mega move bullcrap.
Luke is fast. I'm going to activate my wedge card.
Okay. Which is what?
Which, when I pivot, instead of a 90-degree pivot, I get a full pivot and a full 360.
You only need a 180, but... You get a full 360. You have to do a circle.
You can up to full 360.
Just because I can, dude. I got them sweet moves.
Sweet moves, yeah. I'm gonna try to finish up this infantry. There's 2 infantry dudes. With my AP-11D double laser cannons. Do. Or do I want to try to finish off Vader? Doesn't seem like a great plan. I'll just knock a bunch of lasers back into me. Yeah, but I need to put the paint on Vader.
Do it.
I'm gonna shoot you. That would be 1 crit and 3 hits.
Where's the other red die?
But you're gonna reflect 1 because you're gonna dodge. So spend your dodge token to block 1.
And I attack you back.
And you get 3 defense. You get to defend 3 times.
You took a win though, right?
No.
when I'm defending, if I spend my dodge token, I gain the attack. Oh no, that's
You gain the surge defense.
it's a ranged attack. The attacker suffers 1 wound for each surge rolled.
Right. I put that wrong. I apologize. I thought it was
This guy.
I thought it was each defense roll.
This guy.
It's only surges. Not as good as I thought.
The Imperium's so bad. They cheat all the time.
Oh,
It's the
I play it
rebels.
that way for you. So you get
All right. So how many did you say?
3. 'Cause you dodge 1,
And I take 2.
and I take 1. And then this guy goes. He'll shoot your troopers. He'll aim and shoot your troopers over there.
Who's doing what now?
This guy.
Oh.
He's gonna 1 crit on your troopers.
Yeah, they're in. What did you say? How many?
1. The one's up there. Alright. That's the end of turn 3. And you want to call it there? Or you want to keep going?
Sure.
It's 8. Mars?
Yeah,
You want to call it there?
that's fine.
I mean, you won.
Yeah.
Yeah, you totally creamed me.
Actually, according to the objective, we've tied. Because we both have 1 objective.
But you have more points.
If we're playing that way, which we don't even know if that's if you're supposed to.
Well, I mean, we would agree on rules that we want to play by.
That's fair.
Do you want to just play objectives, or do you want to play points?
I'm not sure I creamed you that much, though.
You did, because I mean, if objectives are the only things I have that can take objectives are 3's 3 units, right? But you've got a big guy there that's going to get me the moment I get over there. You've got that guy who can fly around.
But he can't get objectives. He can't get objectives. Only troopers can have objectives.
Right, but you can successfully keep me from
Sure.
getting them if I move closer to you.
But
I'm dead.
but right now, you've tied on objectives.
On objectives, yes, but by sheer rate of fire, I think in another turn you will completely obliterate me.
I think I would probably win if we played this out.
Especially with like the movement that you have.
Mm-hmm.
My guys are all slow. The moment I move them, they lose that heavy dude, which effectively nullifies them with all the armor you've got on the board. I've got 2 dudes left in that unit, and Darth Vader is not close enough to get into combat with anybody ever. So that's the give and take with this army, is that Darth Vader is incredibly slow. So the only way to get him into combat really is to use one of the deployment cards that allows you to be more forward. Like there's one that's like you deploy here, here, and here kind of a thing. If you use one of those, you can get him up. Or if you use the first 2 turns and just like double move him, which risks him getting shot a lot. That's really it, because he doesn't have anything that allows him to move more unless you're just going to activate him again and take wounds. It's really hard to be effective with him. You got to wait for somebody to come to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think the major perk of the Rebel army is its mobility, for certain. Like, you just have stuff that's so fast. Between Luke and that speeder, and the fact that the speeder can displace any of my troops. It's a really solid strat that Abe's used both games, is that he got him over into my side of the board so that no matter what he did, he was moving through my troops, which fucks up their ability to fire back.
So normally speeders can't displace. The only time they can displace troops is during their compulsory move. That one, but I've always managed to make myself wear that compulsory.
Yeah, so he wants to get right up on me so that he can very quickly, like, knock me out of the way, which then makes me only able to use 1 attack. Which is, like, you gotta take pot shots at what's close because you can't move and fire.
Yeah, that's Star Wars, right? Lightly armed rebels.
And then his ability to nullify my attacks with that ion thing.
It's pretty big. Like
it's a toss up between what you should really aim for first as the Imperials. That big flamer guy, certainly, because he was nasty and could potentially have wiped out that whole unit in 1 turn. And then these guys, second. Like, I think I wasted a turn shooting at him. I should have just shot at those guys.
This guy's actually not that deadly. The one with the single gun.
I assumed bigger means more important.
He's the most expensive one. So I don't. But
He's the most expensive?
I mean, he's the most of the ways you can equip this. There's 3 weapons, and this is the most expensive one, the big cannon. It is the anti-tank gun, so it has it has good impact, but it doesn't only have 3 dice, but it can plink away at armor.
Yeah.
But other than that, like the flamer is really good if you can get it up there, and there is another gun that's good against infantry at range. But yeah, like in this particular setup, he's not that deadly because he's gonna do 1 or 2 wounds to the big guy.
Will there be transports in this game?
I have no idea.
Because the only way I can really see having Vader in your army being feasible is if you've got transports.
I mean, I think you just have to run him forward as a bomb and just
and then the hope he doesn't die to fire.
Yeah, and just run him up and keep him.
It's really risky. You got to be really risky with him.
But he can be one of those things. But he can also be one of those things where well, you gotta shoot him. Like, if you don't shoot him, he's gonna get to your army and kill you. So he's just really pretty cannon fodder. But yeah, guys, any last questions out there?
Yeah, what you guys got?
Give a little bit for lag.
Lag stuff. Luke though, man.
Let me see that robot.
He's just stupidly OP.
Can you talk a little bit about kind of the objectives, conditions, and deployment options?
Sure. So there's actually this little mini game that you play before you start each game, where you've got 3 deployment options, 3 condition options, and 3 objective options, right?
There's 4 of each. You pick 3 of them, and then you slowly eliminate
you pick
them.
3 up to start with, and then you play this little game where you've got 3 columns of things. The left-hand column is what you're going to be playing, and each player gets to take a turn of saying, all right, I don't like that one, I don't like that one, and I don't like that one. So you get to narrow down the options of how you're going to play the game. So I can be like, all right, I don't want him to be able to get close to me, so I don't want him to have the ability to deploy on my side of the board or towards the middle, right? So I want to make sure that I'm as far away from him as possible because I've got long range guns and things like that. So maybe you want to do this kind of deployment option.
Let me show them.
The deployments are your pretty standard ones for any kind of war game. You've got
this is your standard, just straight across the board on your side within one of the, what do they call them? One range? Range 1.
Range 1. We've got this one is kind of a weird one, but not that crazy. It's you have to set up in 2 different deployment zones, catty-corner to each other, so everything's a little confused. You've got this one where you play long ways, also called the Vader cries himself to sleep at night deployment.
Yeah, seriously.
But that's also the one that says the ATSD border is very happy with its unlimited range. And then you've got your basically your corner to corner where you're playing in corners.
And so we would pick turns, and I think the rebels go first, right? In picking
the blue player, which is technically
the
rebels
me.
or something. Yeah, you in this situation.
So I would be like, all right, I don't want you to have easy deployment. I'm gonna remove this one. We're not playing with that crap.
And I'd say, aha, but you got Vader, so I'm gonna remove this one.
No.
And now we're stuck with this one because we'd only have 3. And then Vader would cry himself to sleep.
So I'm gonna say the dreaded B word. How balanced is this game? Do you think so far?
Who knows, honestly. I think
it depends on the upgrades that you take and which troops you take, really.
I mean, it has points, so in theory, it should be balanced.
I feel like we haven't played enough games. We don't know. Not everything's out yet.
And it depends on how hot you roll, really.
I mean, that's definitely is. There's definitely an idea of balance in the game. If you look at the rebel infantry versus the stormtroopers, clearly they are balanced to go against each other and be sort of opposites. The rebels have better guns, but they have worse defense.
Yeah, stormtroopers have good.
Stormtroopers have worse guns, but have better armor. Weirdly, though, rebels have special rules that make them better on defense, and stormtroopers have special rules that make them better on offense. So you have these weird kind of balances there. In the core box right now, for instance, the Imperials have more heavy vehicles than the Rebels. So the Rebels get Ion to try to kind of match that. The Snowtroopers are going to have Ion cannons. So the Imperials and flamethrowers. So the Imperials will have access to both of those once the Snowtroopers come out. which I think will be really cool. Vader is more powerful than Luke. He gets more force powers than Luke, but he is slower than Luke. So there's that.
His powers are expensive, and you gotta buy them.
You gotta buy Luke's powers too, but Vader is more expensive than Luke by himself. But he is more powerful than Luke. Luke has a gun, so he doesn't have to get there. Also,
I mean, I don't
never used Luke's gun.
I don't see anything that is innately, obviously unbalanced.
I mean,
in this game,
yeah, you would think like, oh, maybe the ATSD is unbalanced because it's really crazy and really hard to kill. But it is expensive and it has a weakness to ion, so that is the balance for something like that.
Right.
And it's weak from the rear.
It is weak from the rear, yeah.
And it's not particularly fast.
I mean, it's as fast as most things in the game, but it also has really good range. So you've got things like that. There are nuances in the individual weapons and stuff you can give them. I haven't seen, like, when it comes down to upgrades, I don't know if there's any upgrade that's like with a unit that's 100% better than the other one. Like if you look at the Stormtroopers, the missile launcher versus the heavy blaster rifle, both of them have some pretty good things going for them. Whether you want a heavier shot but you can't move, or you want a little lighter shot that's still good at taking down armor but can move. So you kind of have a lot of options. So it seems decently balanced to me. Again, we'll have to play more games and really we only have access to a limited amount of stuff, so we're kind of playing with what we have. We don't know if we're going to be able to break the game or if there's going to be that crazy list.
And how all of those rules are going to be interpreted when they come out with the FAQ later this week.
Yeah.
We could have been playing it completely wrong. We could have been right on the money. We won't know.
There could
later.
be some things we're doing wrong. I think the one thing I'll say that I like is I haven't seen any unit so far, and given there's only about 4 or 5 units per side, it's not a lot.
Right.
But I haven't seen a unit that's like, why would I take that?
Right.
Every unit so far has a place.
And conversely, I haven't seen any must-takes either.
Oh well, other than infantry, because you have to have them take your army.
I mean, that you would want to build like
well, sure.
Yeah, there isn't the like this unit is broken, so I want to build an entire army out of these.
Exactly.
I haven't seen any of those.
Yeah, like I could see what options that I would. There are definitely ways you could build your list to push towards something. Taking like 3 of these guys with flamethrowers seems like it could be pretty cool. Of course, the balance to that is that they're useless against vehicles because they don't have impact and they only get to. They're also not good against like characters because they only get 2 dice. They get that against every unit that they can hit, model they can hit. But against,
so they hit Vader twice.
Yeah, so
he's like, who cares?
He doesn't care. A vehicle doesn't care. So they are really good, as they should be. They're really good at mowing down a big group of infantry. But the smaller the unit they're targeting, the less good they get. So they have to be played right. The ion guns are really good against a big vehicle, but they're pretty. But if you only have infantry in range, they're no good at all.
Right.
Or they're not that great. They're slightly better than the normal gun for a really and they are an expensive upgrade. So I am sacrificing a lot. I mean, if I didn't have those 2 ion guns, I could basically have another guy with a flamethrower.
And some of the new units that they've announced definitely seem like they're also kind of pushing in different directions.
Definitely. So
that's a good sign too.
Yeah, I haven't the fleet troopers that are coming out for the rebels. They're a close range unit. They have shorter range guns, but all their guns get 2 dice.
So that's cool.
So they just throw a lot of dice at you at close range. So it's kind of an interesting thing. The snow troopers are pretty similar to the stormtroopers. They are a little different in some of their special abilities. But like I said, they get an ion rifle and a flamethrower are their upgrades, so they can run. So they have those unique roles to fill as more like shock troops and getting in there dealing with more unique things. General Veers, who's the new Imperial commander, he's not like a crazy combat monster like Vader, but from what I've read, he's all about like buffing people. Like he can give his allies aim tokens and stuff like that, and call down like orbital bombardments and.
Nice.
Some pretty interesting stuff. I haven't read enough of the Leia. They haven't released a lot of it, but Leia is the Rebel General coming, so I don't know 100% what she does. They still haven't spoiled most of the cards for that. So overall, it does seem like it has a lot of balance. I mean, obviously, it's impossible to tell this early in the game.
Sure.
Like
it's definitely fun. It's definitely worth playing. It's definitely easy to step into if you've never played a war game before.
Yeah.
do recommend.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Mars. Anything else? How are we
Not
doing?
at the moment.
All right. Well, then that's our show.
That's right. We are going to call it, everyone. Thanks so much. We will be back. Happy Valentine's Day tomorrow.
Yep.
For everybody.
We will not be broadcasting tomorrow. We are doing some super special recorded content of some hobby creative stuff that will be launched and ready to go by next week, we hope. So go enjoy your holiday with your loved ones or your treat yourself day if you are taking
with your enemies.
that tack. Or that. Yeah, do that. It's fun.
Yeah,
it's good times. Totally works. It's fun.
Since the Empire.
And that was our 2 double headers, Monday and Tuesday.
And then we'll be back on Thursday with our usual hobby streams.
Oh, that's true.
Veteran Sergeant and Goat Boy.
They will be back today.
The Pope Show!
Yeah. See you guys on. We will see you on Monday.
Bam!
Don't forget to subscribe. Support us on Patreon. Thanks for watching.